But you said in the police report I'm reading, you said that you didn't want her anymore. So I don't understand this. I don't understand someone repeatedly slapping a 5-year-old for not eating. So what do you think that did to her day? I'm sorry? I mean, what did that do to her day? So she's at a restaurant, probably a restaurant that she did not choose to go to, and you're slapping her, according to you, because she won't eat food. And then you're pushing the stroller. I'm assuming you're pushing it angrily, because then the people at the restaurant said you told her and told everybody you didn't want her anymore.
Your Honor, if I may, this event occurred in the Zane.
This case starts with a statement so disturbing, it immediately stops you in your tracks. A mother allegedly telling others she didn't want her own child anymore. But what makes this situation even more shocking isn't just the words, it's what happened right before them. According to the report, this all unfolded in public, in a restaurant, where a 5-year-old child was repeatedly slapped, not for doing something dangerous, not for harming anyone, but for refusing to eat. Now think about that for a second. A child in an unfamiliar place, possibly overwhelmed, possibly scared, and instead of comfort, she's met with anger and rejection. And the court is about to dig deep into what that moment meant, not just physically, but emotionally. This isn't just about discipline. This is about control, responsibility, and the psychological impact of a parent's actions on a child who depends on them for safety. And as we move through this hearing, pay close attention to how the judge frames this, not just as a legal violation, but as a profound breach of trust. So here's the question for you right from the start. Where is the line between discipline and abuse? And was it clearly crossed here? Let's get into it.
22 CR 7879, State of Texas versus Linnea Ray. You understand you're charged with the offense of injury to a child as a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? In States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are exactly where please, sir.
Anything you want to say on behalf of your client?
First, I would note that she has completed the anger management within the jail. She'll get her certificate next week, and there is a CPS plan. No, excuse me.
Yes.
And there is a CPS plan in effect.
All right. How old is this child?
My daughter just turned 5 this year.
All right. So why would you be hitting your child?
Now this is where the legal reality hits hard. The defendant isn't just facing a slap on the wrist. This is a third-degree felony, which carries a potential sentence of 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. That's serious time, and it reflects how the law views harm against a child, not just as a family matter, but as a criminal offense. What's also critical here is the plea agreement. The judge makes it very clear, even if there's a deal with the state, the court is not obligated to follow it. That means everything is still on the table. The defendant is essentially stepping into uncertain territory, hoping the judge accepts the negotiated terms. And here's something many people overlook. Entering a plea doesn't guarantee a lighter outcome, it just shifts the strategy. The judge still evaluates the facts, the behavior, and the impact on the victim. So ask yourself, if you were in that position, would you risk a plea deal knowing the judge could still go harsher, or take your chances at trial?
Child because she doesn't want to eat.
I'm lost control.
But you said in the police report I'm reading, you said that you didn't want her anymore. So I don't understand this. I don't understand someone repeatedly slapping a 5-year-old for not eating. So what do you think that did to her day? I'm sorry? I mean, what did that do to her day? So she's at a restaurant, probably a restaurant that she did not choose to go to, and you're slapping her, according to you, because she won't eat food. And then you're pushing the stroller. I'm assuming you're pushing it angrily, because then the people at the restaurant said you told her and told everybody you didn't want her anymore.
Your Honor, if I may, this event occurred in the Zane area of the Havensville.
Yeah.
It's not in it.
Well, That's even worse. Because one, you now have a child who's staying at Haven for Hope. And I don't think she bought into, hey, let me be born to this mother where I'm placed at Haven for Hope. So where is the child now?
My son's grandparents.
And you say your son's grandparents. I mean, how are they related to her?
They're not.
So now she's with people she doesn't even know, who doesn't really have, well, they really don't have a biological connection to her.
They know her. They spend time with her.
Yeah. And you don't know how they're treating her, though.
No, they take care of all of my children.
Because you're not?
No, because they love them as their grandchildren. Even my two that aren't biologically related.
And what is Child Protective Services doing?
I agreed to allow her to stay there till I successfully complete my program.
Yeah, I'm not going to order. I know outside the agreement, it's no harm for injurious contact, but I'm not going to allow you to have contact with her until you go through some type of therapy. It takes a lot for a parent to have birthed a child in the world, right? Or either for a father to have a child to, in public, in front of everybody, hit that child several times and then say, you don't want them anymore. I can't even imagine how she feels with you telling her that. Do you know what that did to her confidence? And do you know how that made her feel? Because on the planet, everybody is hoping that their mom or their dad loves them more than everybody else. Everybody is hoping that as a child, you can always run to your mom for protection. And instead of doing that, you hit her in front of everybody. And guess what? Do you know what embarrassment that probably caused her? And what it caused her because she realizes that maybe her mom don't love her. And then you're saying you don't want her anymore. And I'm not trying to be mean to you, but you need to realize what you did and how that affected her. Because now her confidence is probably less than zero. Now she probably thinks her mom doesn't love her. And the embarrassment of it all in front of everybody. And I'm sure there were other children probably there too. And who knows what they probably said to her afterwards, maybe, ha ha, your mom doesn't love you. So she's already dealing with the fact that she doesn't have a mom who can have her in a home or an apartment, but has her at Haven for Hope. And she's dealing with all of that. And who knows what she's dealing with at school, because children can be cruel. And people say children are cruel because they don't know any better. It's because their parents don't teach them any better. So she's at school, and I'm sure they probably know she's staying at Haven for Hope. And then she has all of this other stuff that she's dealing with. And she doesn't have her own little private space where she can go and just decompress. Instead, she's having to deal with you, and you're putting your adult problems on her. I am not going to allow her to have contact with this child until she goes through some kind of therapy, and the child goes through therapy to see, does she want to be with mom? Does she trust mom to take care of her and not injure her? So that's what I'm doing. So knowing that, do you all still want to continue with the agreement? All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years in prison, suspended and probated for 6 years. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with minors. There's to be no contact with Sky Ray. And counsel, you can approach after she's completed therapy and after the child has had some therapy. You can always approach and ask me to lift the no contact order. But for now, there's to be no contact.
Understand.
There's 150 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. There's to be parenting classes with Triple T. Of course, this Child Protective Services is giving her parenting classes. The court will accept that. I don't want any overlap.
This right here is the turning point of the entire hearing. And it's not just legal, it's deeply human. The judge shifts from facts and charges to something much more powerful, the emotional reality of that child's experience. Notice how the focus moves away from what happened to what did it do to her. That's huge. Because in cases involving children, courts aren't just concerned with physical harm. They look at emotional trauma, long-term psychological damage, and the child's sense of safety and belonging. The judge paints a vivid picture. A child being humiliated in public, possibly mocked by other kids, and left questioning whether her own mother loves her. That kind of damage doesn't just go away. It can shape a child's confidence and identity for years. And then comes the decisive move. No contact until therapy is completed, for both the mother and the child. That's not punishment. That's protection. So here's something to think about. Do you believe people who lose control like this can truly rebuild trust with their children? Or are some lines impossible to come back from?
Wrapping of services. So why are you at Haven for Hope?
I wonder if I may have one question.
Yes.
Parenting classes may involve some supervised visitation between her and the child. But you preventing
She will have to approach the court. And when you approach the court on that, the CPS worker needs to be here and also the child's attorney.
understand.
All right. So why were you at Haven for Hope?
I lived in my apartment for 7 years. The caseworker that had my file, she quit. So everybody that was on her desk got delayed. So my two options was to renew my lease for a couple of months and then have a broken lease once my new voucher came in. I only needed to wait 30 days until my new voucher came in. I already did all the paperwork, everything was done. I was just staying at Haven for Hope until my voucher kicked in. I found an apartment within the first week. It was a brand new apartment, a 2-bedroom. I was just waiting for my voucher to come in.
All right. So why are you not working?
I get SSI,
For what?
mental health.
All right. There's going to be proof of employment or SSI
I have those documents.
within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. CPS compliance. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want field visits probation. Sorry, it's going to be 4 times per month, and they need to go into the home and make sure that there are no minors in the home. And we're going to do random UAs. And those field visits and random UAs will be until further notice. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Oh, I'm sorry, anger management classes. And make sure that's intensive. And she's going to have to do anger management classes other than what she's been given at the jail. Probation, is there anything else she needs? All right. Ms. Ray, is there anything else you need from the court? I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? And also because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. If you cannot raise your children, if you cannot be patient with them, then you need not raise them. Someone else needs to do that. Do you understand?
In the end, the court delivers a sentence that walks a very careful line between punishment and rehabilitation. The defendant receives 4 years in prison, suspended, along with 6 years of probation, which means she avoids immediate incarceration, but only under strict supervision. And those conditions? They're extensive. No contact with minors, mandatory therapy, parenting classes, community service, regular check-ins, home inspections, and random testing. On top of that, the affirmative finding of family violence permanently impacts her rights, including firearm restrictions. But perhaps the most significant part of this ruling isn't the probation, it's the no-contact order with her own child. That's the court drawing a hard boundary. Until there's proof of real change, access is not a right. It's something that must be earned back. This case highlights a critical balance in the justice system, holding someone accountable while still allowing a path to rehabilitation. But it also sends a strong message. When a child's safety and emotional well-being are at stake, the court will not hesitate to step in. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think this sentence was fair, too lenient, or too harsh? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.